frame for once when we start the show. That's cool. Didn't have to move it too much. That's pretty neat, guys. Looking pretty cool. Looking pretty cool. So, you already know what to do. Check in. Tell me where you're watching from, and I'll tell you what I've done to my canvas so far. Welcome to the Paint with Josh experience, by the way. Let's get serious. Let's get serious over here, okay? So, I'm tell you what I've done to my canvas so far. I have an 18-inch by 24-inch canvas, which I took and laid our black gesso with a flat line, and then I kind of went a little crazy, make some little faraway tree-esque sort of shapes that will end up covering over anyway. And then I let all that stuff dry. When it came time to paint this painting, I covered the whole area on the bottom, the black area, in liquid clear, and I covered the top area in liquid white. So the top is wet, the bottom is wet, and then I came along back here with a little Indian yellow, little of my crimson, little of my blue, little of my, that's phthalo blue, and then phthalo green, then Indian yellow, little phthalo green and blue and crimson, and all the way through the thing. So we should have some really cool colors by the time we get done. Now, because our canvas is wet, it's going to allow all of our colors to slide and blend and move all over the place. It's going to be fantastic. Let me show you the colors we're going to go through. Maybe dioxazine purple. Definitely know we're going to do our phthalo green, Indian yellow, sap green, cadmium yellow, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, titanium white. All right, now first things first. Let's get in here and just blast in some yeller. Some of that Indian yellow, and just let it mix down. We're not trying to really let it get too far into our area over here. Come on in, guys. How you doing?
Hi. Sorry, I'm all loud.
No worries. How can I help you?
I was just passing by here and I didn't know you guys were here.
Oh, cool.
I kind of was curious about the painting thing that you have.
Excellent. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm actually live on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook doing a live show.
Nice.
But let me give you a business card, and I supply all the supplies. All you have to do is show up.
Okay.
And then I'll get you, literally we can redo any painting that I've ever done. This will be the 1805th painting.
So I'm a huge Bob Ross fan. I've only ever painted with acrylic though, so
That's okay.
would definitely be in a new medium.
That's okay, yeah. With the Bob Ross wet on wet technique, he was actually part of my grandpa's family. He's my grandpa's cousin, so he's in my kind of family tree, which is kind of weird. But with the wet on wet, it works so much different to acrylics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it allows us to kind of slide, blend, and be more free and have more fun when we're doing it.
Okay.
So, like I said, we can literally choose any of the paintings I've ever done. I have 10 of them listed on the website, so if you scan the QR code, it'll take you to the website. We have 1 hour classes, and then we have 2 to 3 hour classes. The 1 hour classes will be much more basic, you know what I mean? And then the 2 to 3 hour classes are much more detailed and stuff like that. They range in price. And please check it out. And then you can choose any day that you want, no matter if the picture matches the day that you want to do. You'd be like, okay, I want to do Wednesday or whatever, and then come in and go, I like that one, let's do that one instead of this one that was on the site, because I can't list them all on the site. So, but absolutely, I'd love to meet you. So it was awesome meeting you.
Yeah, you as well.
Thanks
My
for
name's
coming.
Shiloh, by the way.
Excellent.
I don't think I
Josh.
introduced myself.
Right, it's okay. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys later. Have a good day. Okay, guys, we're back. Always customers when I turn, maybe I should turn the cameras on earlier in the day, and we have customers come in earlier in the day, right? So we'll get back here, a little of our Indian yellow onto our canvas, and as it spreads out, it becomes thinner and thinner and thinner and lighter in its color, right? Really heavy in the yellow, and then starts to blend outwards the further out we go. You could almost do it just a whole yellowy sky. What if we did that? And come out here, a little of our crimson, just a little touch, and I'm gonna go a little of our Van Dyke brown, or that dark sienna brown as well, mixed in with our crimson just a little bit. Let's start up a little higher, because we don't know what that color's going to look like, or how it's going to interact. Look at that blend though, that's gonna be nice. That's a nice soft, kind of an orangish color by mixing that crimson and brown together. Right, and just lightly going down over our sky. That looks really cool. Now what if we get a little bit darker? You know what? Should we go brown? Watch this. Let's go our deep, dark Van Dyke brown. Watch this. Don't hate me after this one. There. Look at that. Deep, dark, dusky brown color. And we need enough of it onto our brush because it tries to blend away very quickly. Right, now the brown mixing over these other lighter colors is gonna just look amazing, okay? Now we're gonna need to blend all these things out. They're not blended. Just because they're out there on our canvas doesn't mean that they're all blended out, right? We're gonna go back through and blend them, but we can't very well do that with a brush full of color. So we've gotta go wash our brush. How is the audio over on YouTube today? How is it acting? The audio seems to be very strange sometimes, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not it's because I have my phone plugged in or whether it's unplugged. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I'm telling you, that's what happens. Let's see. Thank you guys all for being here. Make sure, if you're watching over there on YouTube, just like the video, give it a thumbs up. That's all you gotta do. Now that we got a nice clean dry brush, we can go back into our lightest area first. Start to mix these areas down, getting that light color onto our brush, and we'll come up here and start grabbing some of the darkness, blending it down, going back up, grabbing some more, coming back down, back up, back down, all up to us, right? The more that we mix it, the cooler and cooler it'll be because it will mix and blend all together, and then we can decide when we want to stop. How do you want it to look? Right? How does your sky come together? Now right here I can see a very harsh line between our yellow and our pinky sky, right? Should we try to blend that out, or should we put a cloud over there? What do you think? You let me know what you would do, right? Because sometimes as you're blending your color, you can't stop it from coming all the way. You just can't. It just wants to keep going. And eventually, you realize you're gonna lose all of your bright area if you keep mixing it down like that. So you either have to go clean your brush or realize and stop and go, all right, let's pop a cloud in there. Or go back and blend it until it's nice and soft, right? We get to decide every time how far we push it, how bright we make it. There we go. That's less of an old line out there. In the night. Remembering that we've got our solid beam back there. Can you guys see my fingers from there too? I'm making animal shadow puppets from back behind the canvas if you can't see. That's what I'm doing. Very cool. I like that. I like it. I'm gonna bring a little bit of that darkness from above. Bring it down here. And just mix it in, right? Without adding anything else off of our paint. Say we wanted to have some far away little indications of clouds. Let's grab some of this darkness from up here and let's pop it in. Right? Just by literally mushing our canvas against our brush against our canvas, or vice versa. Kind of like you're painting grass, but very far away little bits of grass, right? Get out there, mix it, push it, whatever you want to do, guys. It's up to you. You can do it, okay? I'm telling you. You want to extend on that? Maybe we get up here and we bring it up a little bit higher and make it a little bit crazier. Or we come up here and we mix it a little. Right? Again, how do you want your sky to look? I like that. That's very cool. Very cool, guys. Now, let's take our titanium white onto an old fan brush. We'll just mix it down onto our fan brush. Pulling it down, getting it nice and crazy. Remembering all of our sunlight is underneath our clouds. So let's take a bit of that brightness and pop it out there, and then we'll allow it to blend itself up a little bit. All right, if we take our little 1-inch brush, we start to blend it with a little clockwise motion, allowing the white, or if you're gonna go this way, counterclockwise motion. Allowing the white to be a little, the bottom to be a little white. Man, I am just pineapples to the max, you guys. And the top to be dark. There. That gives us the indication our sun is over here, casting light out upon our scene, right? Now, before we get any crazier, let's get into our water. This is a very soft little scene, you guys. We can even make it darker up in our sky. It's got a little bit there. Just a little bit of that Bob Ross Midnight Black. It's not a black paint. That's the best part about it. It's a very dark, kind of purpley paint, but it's not black. Right? Because if it was black, it would look like this up there. doesn't look like that, as you can see. All right, so we get to play with it and mix it until maybe look like we got some other clouds in the background. See a little difference, a little change can happen in there. Now let's take our palette scrapey tool, just like that. Gonna grab a little bit of our white. You can really pull it down, pushing on the blade, really trying to flatten all that paint out as thin as possible. Come in here, scrape up a little bit. Just a little old guy. Drop down from your horizon. All right, that way you'll be able to work some of that paint back up. We need the front of our wave to be kind of bright and the back to be a little dark. And so, with our little palette scrapey tool, it's very easy to just scrape in a little line, a little bit of water, little front crashing area that's so far away we just can't see all the details, right? How's the audio over there on YouTube, by the way? The audio. The audio. Anybody? Sounds good, says Laura. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, now let's do something crazy. Let's say that this water is very thin-like. Right? What if we came out here another little bit? We've got our flat section. We've scraped up a little bit of our paint off the edge of our little palette scrapey tool. And let's stay very shallow. What happened? What happened over here? We're not interacting with anything. It's because we don't have enough paint on the edge of our palette scrapey tool. We're not pushing hard enough to get it to drop off and leave a little ridge out there. That's our fault because we didn't load up enough paint. Now, taking our brush that we created, our little soft little cloud with, let's come out here. Let's start gripping this stuff and just letting it roll back and back and back. Right? How far back is it going? Very flat on this side, and then we're gonna start rotating up, feeding it, making it look however we want it to look, or vice versa. Taking our horizontal bits, pushing them off this way, right? We can always go back and we can make different highlights and we can do different things, but say this guy's flowing over here. All it is a little bit of backwater. And that movement shows the water and the stuff that's floating on top of the water, floating back to his other little friend. You could even make it look like it was going in the other direction by pulling it like this, just like the center of a clock, right? Dragging it around. We get to decide what it looks like every time that we go to do it. That's the most fun part, you guys. Right? Even if you didn't like how it looked and you blended it all flat, look at that nice, soft, reflective little area, which you can then go back with your liquid white and your titanium white mix. Right? Create little specks of highlights, little things that are floating on top of that very shallow, very clear little watery area. Every time we do it, what do? Do we do it the same exact way or do we do it different? Type it in the comments right now. I'm always saying, literally, every time that we do it, is another chance for us to do it a bit differently, right? If you want it to all be the same, go paint with somebody else, because I don't want it to all be the same. I don't want it to be the same at all. I want to get a little of my liquidy white back into my titanium white over here, just to have it be a little thinner. And right in front of this guy, I'm gonna pop in just a little crashing little wave. By a little bit of fuzz. It's popping onto the edge right there. A little fuzz. Doesn't even have to be the same amount of fuzz, quote unquote, all the way around, right? Or the same brightness or anything. And you can always come back with a very light touch. Just mix that guy up just a little bit. Let's change the angle of our brush. Here, over there, soft little thing. These guys too far away to see. Right, as it gets up closer to us, we can see a little bit nicer, a little bit better. And now I need to get some more of my liquid white. I've taught 2 classes already today, you guys. 2 classes, and then you guys are my third persons. You're in the third person right now. Talking about yourself in the third person. Okay, let's get over here with our liquid white into our titanium white. Remember, you can go and grab this painting. If you go to paintwithjosh.com, it's on the very front of the homepage. You can check it out. Look at that. That's cool. That is cool. Right? Now, it all depends on how much of our paint was on the brush, how bright we want it to be. Do we want to have some highlights? In which case, we could hit the front of that wave. It's just a couple little extra bits. With that liquid white, it really comes off the brush and starts looking like water. Okay, now with the rest of this very wet paint, with our titanium white and liquid white mix into it, we're going to come down here and do a very light little scraping down there, because we don't need a whole lot of paint, right? It's probably even too much. And what I've found recently is that it's easier to just come up and do this than it is to try to scrape it by, right? Don't scrape by, come and scrape down with the Paint with Josh show. Loading up a little roll onto the edge of our little scrapey tool, our palette scrapey tool, plopping it down straight underneath our water. Okay, and we decide every time how far it gets to grow by how much paint is there, and then with our pressure off of our other brush, how much of our sand gets to light up. Doesn't that look cool? That's looking cool to me, guys. Pretty cool to me. Now, I'm gonna ask you, does this look like sand? Just yes or no answers only. Just, does it look like sand? Yes, no. And then I'm gonna do something to it. And I'm gonna ask you again, does it look like sand? And I'm gonna do something to it again, and I'm gonna ask you again, right? So answer me all 3 times. Here's your first round. Does this look like sand? Yes or no? Oh, I like that. We'll throw some sprays in there, make it a little bigger too. I'm assuming we have a lot of nose, right? So we'll take our brush, we'll go very vertical. Vertical, 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 vertical. Boom, 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 boom. How far do you want it to go down? That's all up to you. Now, does that look like a wet, sandy beach? Yes or no? Sometimes it's yes. Sometimes it's no. But you're the only one out there that can tell me whether or not it is. So type it in the comments now. Yes or no, does that look like sand? Probably not, right? I mean, not really. But if we take and pull, we're gonna have to go both ways here. Pull away from our wave and then kind of brushing out the bottom area. See the difference already? Pull away and away and away from our wave. So on this guy, because he's crashing in a different way, we're pulling out a different way. See that? Now you have all this wet, sheeny, shiny area where you can then launch another line of water. Isn't that the coolest, guys? It's just the coolest, I know. We're gonna take a little of our liquid white and our titanium white again on our fan brush. Okay, we're gonna come up here and slap, just a little slap happy. We don't want it to be too big or too bright. I need to have some differences in there, right, that are making it roll and look like a little bit of our crashing, watery, wavy deal. Okay, we also need to take our palette scrapey tool right down from over here and extend out just a little our waves, just so they go and almost cover over that little shadow. You can get that shadow to almost disappear, leaving just a little bit of darkness underneath it. That's what you want to have, my guys and gals and painting pals. Out there, little bits, little things. You can do whatever it wants to do, be as bright as it wants to be, as dark as it wants to be, and you can always come back up. Since you've added it, bang, right there, very soft. Softly. Don't do it too much. Soft, those little bubbles coming at us. Very neat. They're coming at us like that. I would assume there'd be a few little bits of brightness on the back side, right? It's not very bright, but a couple little ripplers as they're rolling in. Now we need another section of this wet, watery stuff. So let's get a little bit more of our liquid white. And the liquid white runs out very fast, Right? It runs out like water in the desert. So you gotta use a lot of it. Add that little touch of our titanium white, so it's a 90-10 mix like always. Okay, now we're gonna start back there, and let's just say from back here, we went from off the canvas, bang, just like that. Just wiggling it. A little funky looking line. Take me down to Funky Beach Town, right? No? Nobody? Okay. Over here and over there. Just keep blending it down and around and down. And then what happens if we took a wicked right turn? Right? Every time we do it, guys, is another chance, another opportunity, another opportune moment to paint it a little bit differently. Right? That's going to be the most fun that you've had all year, is how differently you can paint these things. All right? Go try it. Try it different the next time. Do something different the next time, right? Because you can do it. We're gonna come out here, we're gonna grab it from its edge, very flat out here. Very flat, very small amount of pressure. Very flat. We're not trying to get this light color to reach all the way back, right? It has to be a little disconnect in between. So don't try to pull it all the way back. Over here, let's start changing our angles up a little bit. Right? How's that looking to you? Does it look like it's being taken back towards the wave? Or does it look funny? If it looks funny, then take it another direction. Pull it more sideways. All right, but with this guy, we even went all the way around over there. Make it look like our water is literally coming out at us. Isn't that the coolest thing? Literally. Drag it a bit more. There. There. Just let it kind of fall off. It's like a clock. I'm picking a center point that it's all going back to. Right? These guys will kind of flow along that way, and then they start getting flatter and flatter and flatter until they're off in the distance and they're very flat. Right? Doesn't that look cool? I agree, guys. I agree. Let's come out here. Kind of try to float our palette tool over the edge of all that stuff. And if you wanted to drag anything backwards, just flow along those lines. It's literally it. Kind of grab it. Very light though. Don't need stuff everywhere. Very cool. Get sucked back. That is neat, my friends. Now, what happens if there was a whole other little guy that broke off and then connected onto this little friend? Right? Because that happens. That happens out there. Let's take this guy right here. Grab our palette, our fan brush, and start pulling it over here. Kind of feeding it backwards until we almost lose it. Right? Every time we do it, gotta try something new, man. Try a different way. Yeah. Right? Those little bits, you gotta have them. They are vital to have differences out here. If you don't have your differences, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Move along, sir. Okay, that looks really neat. Now, let's take down in here, we're gonna light up our sand again. So we'll take a little bit of our liquid white, little bit of our titanium white. So we don't need too much. There's not a whole big area right here. I'm gonna come down and light this sucker up again. That way we'll have a little bit of sheeniness up underneath. You need to get close enough so that you don't have to brush it a lot with our brush later. Get up there, get yourself close. Doesn't have to be perfect. When you get to this side, you can even shake your knife up and down like that. Just like that. Bang! Little palette straight into it. Come back in here. Hold down. Zip, zap, zoop. Try not to grab your waves from above. Right, same thing. What do? We pull away from our waves first. Dragging all that color, all those horizontal streaks into, or vertical streaks into horizontal streaks. And then we got a cool little bit of sand out here, guys, which we can then take and extend our last bit of water out there, bringing down our little dark separation. Very small, very small. Look at that, dude. That's cool. Oh, I like it. I like it, you guys. That is a different perspective. I normally don't paint waves going this way because I don't like it. I don't like how it looks. I don't like to do it. But this one, I told myself, I was like, I gotta start doing more of these little things. And having more bits and more stuff and little different angles and stuff, because then you guys will try more little bits and different angles and different things and all that. And so, we try to do something different all the time. Look at that. Oh, I can hear this water. I can hear it being pulled back and then launched down. Just fabulous. Okay. Let's grab a little bit of our liquid white, just a small bit. Take some of these little guys. Let's add another little piece of water line or whatever. Right? We're deciding as we do it what it looks like, how it goes. This, that, and the other is all up to us. All right, little things. We can take our palette scrapey tool and turn it upside down. Right? Let it roll back. However it's easiest for us to do is how we're going to do it. That's really cool. That's really cool. Really, really, really cool. Okay, now we've got our little guy. Can we make footprints with just our finger? Does that look like a footprint to you? Back up. Back up. Does that look like a footprint? Kind of, but not really. Not really. I want this to be a nice, pristine sandy beach. Very cool. I can even, because we've used that brown up in our sky, I can even come there with my darkest brown color. Just kind of try to sneak back that little bit of glare. There, kind of adjust how we want our little scene to look, and it's as easy as that. Hell, I married a Coglinian. It's just as easy as that is. Come out here, spray on a couple little seashells and stuff into our sand. Also, using either the side of your palette, or say you don't have a big old palette like me, and you want to use the side of your little palette scrapey tool. Come out here and just get real close so they don't spread too far. Right? Close in there, just start flicking them. If you're close, you'll have a nice tight little pattern. Right? As if you back up a little bit, your spray pattern gets a little more crazy. So don't blame me if it goes somewhere that it's not supposed to go. Okay? Very, very cool. I'm already liking it, and we haven't even thrown in our palm trees or anything yet. In your water, you can have little sprays, you can have little specks. There's all sorts of stuff you can do out there. Okay. Now, guys, zip. You can always brush things away too. All right, let's put in some trees back there. Just a few. Just a few. I'm gonna take a little bit of my plaque mix that we like to mix up. I'm gonna throw some of my phthalo green into it, just so it stays nice and dark, but we get that green hue to it. I'm gonna use a little of my sap green too. Might as well. Might as well. We gotta add a big old palm tree to this scene. So, as we mix this thing up and flatten it and scoop it and flip it like pancake mix or a pancake, right over there, just get it all crazy. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I can already tell. Rock to me. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's see over here. Let's come down. We need a little bit more brightness into this guy. There, right there. Perfect. Now, let's come out here. We need to have some very far away, kind of indistinct trees. So in that plaque mix, which is our blue, crimson, black, we added our phthalo green and our sap green. We're just gonna get out here. We don't need a lot. Right? So let's deposit the majority of it onto our palette down here. That's why we kind of tap in and move down so we can see, right, there's less paint there. Now I'm gonna come out here. We don't need it to be dark. They don't need to be all the same. We don't need to see every bit of every one, right? We just need a bit of color out there so we can then pipe in our palm trees and have some other stuff closer to us. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Just have some stuff out there. Get a little closer is all. You can even take just the teeniest little sliver of our titanium white, just the smallest bit. Come back in here and start tapping underneath all that stuff. You might be able to get a little bit of mistiness, something from our waves kind of crashing against our shore back there. Just adds with our depth is all. That's pretty much it. Okay, now we've got our big, deep, dark color. We need to take that, guys, scrape it back up here. Then I'm gonna bring out the Paint with Josh fan brush. The beauty over here. Well, this is the beast. I'm the beauty, this is the beast. Right, we gotta get this color to grow, and it's gotta come off here. So our main guy is right there in the center, right? Meaning, we have to make a funky looking thing just by turning our brush each time we're contacting it, right? Making a weird little spider, that's what we call it. And then off of our little spider, we just have a couple little bits kind of going in all directions, literally, right? Does not have to be very detailed on this little guy because we want all of our detail on our bigger guy that's gonna sit up and to the right of him, right? So we'll take his little self, throw off a little trunk off to the side. No matter what, it's a little indistinct little palm tree out there. Maybe we do one more, or maybe you have one bit of a branch that you can see. Maybe we make this guy a little bigger, right? Just because we want to. All up to us in what we do. How many ways we dip down. All these little things, right? These little doers, they're all up to us, and it's all background. So don't worry about it. That's my goal, my thought about it. We're gonna get in here to our yellow and our green together with our liquid white, just enough to get our kind of green color to come off with the slightest touch. Comes off at the slightest touch, and we get a couple little pops of bright green on top of all that darkness. Then we're gonna look like we've got a depth-filled little palm tree out there. Right? Doesn't that look amazing? I mean, it's a mess, and it's supposed to be. Google palm tree right now. Google it. You'll see. They are weird, and they are not all exactly the same. Okay, let's get out here. We're gonna go down, wiggling into that paint, and we gotta make a much bigger version of this guy right up here in the top. Are you guys ready? Making a Dementor. No, no, no. All right, we're gonna come out here. Again, we're gonna go up and over and pick a spot right there and just start making a little circle of a deal, right? Our starting place, can't take it away once it's up there, right? What do we do now except make it bigger? Make it bigger, we start launching out little branches to which then we come up and grab little things. Little bits here and there. Maybe this guy launches out this way. Make him very sharp on the end, come back, just grab the paint that's up there, give it a little pull. It's gotta be big. We gotta have it be bigger than our other dude for sure, because it's closer. Right? Out there, same kind of an arc. Grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it. Less, 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 less. What do you do out the top, they say, Josh? Well, what do you guys do out the top? Do you have a secret about what you do when you're out the top of your palm tree? Because it can't just look like 4 like that. That looks ridiculous to me. No, they're all different. You can literally do as many as you want. But if I know I'm gonna have my trunk go down that way, I know I've gotta have a couple little odd bits that pop out the top. So just give it a little hat. Just a little bad haircut off the top there is all you need. Right? A little untrimmed haircut. If you don't like the separation in between your two guys, just pop out a couple little doers that live in there. Boop, boop, wherever, right? Because they're not gonna be all growing at the same speed. Looks like a flying something. Oh, he's got a wingsuit on right now. Oh, flying, no, nobody? It's fine. It's fine. Right. Now let's pop in our trunk before we do our last branch, okay? We have to cut through this guy, if only just a bit. So, come on. Just like that. Oh, that's perfect. That's quite literally perfect. Boom, boom, boom. Cut through his branches, right? Pushes him back a little bit. Now we have one branch going off that side of our trunk, because you can see it's back behind there. So what if we had another branch come off this side of our trunk? And we'll just pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. Little things, right? Wherever they are. That might look like it's on the other side. We can also do one up here. However many you want to do, right? always up to us. Always, always, always. Little bits, fill it in, little spaces. Sometimes making your branches more rough looking also helps with the painting, right? Just to make them a little bit more hang-me-downy, little weirder. It just helps, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's cool. I like that. We got a little guy out there. It's the little old guy, right? Never all gonna be the same. I like that though, that's wicked. And they're high enough up on our canvas that it makes sense that our trunk would go way out there. Very cool. Now let's go highlight these little guys, okay? Because we have our green mix inside that darkness, it's going to be easier to keep our highlights green. Right? So we have our cad yellow and our sap green mixed together with the liquid white, kind of holding them together. And just maybe just off of these top little guys, we just pop out a couple little bits, like a bad haircut. I'm telling you, this guy needs a trim. All right, we'll come out here along the top edge, along the top edge, along the top edge, bang, just like that, right? Little things. And now we're gonna load our brush up with that paint very lightly, give it a little swipe, 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 swipe. Little guy, swipe, 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 swipe. It's like you're making almost like a little wave off in the distance. Right? Tap on a little bit. Maybe this guy, come down this way, zip, zap, zoop, little things, right? We're deciding how bright green we want it to be. It's all up to us how bright green we want these guys. And the more yellow that you use, the more green it will become. Let's say if that guy was off the backside, we would only really light up a couple little bits on his interiors, and that makes him kind of look like he's off the front. It's all in about how you do yours, right? Little things, little taps, little bits, little bits. We can always go back and cover that guy with our, cut through him with our trunk again. That's the fun part about it. Out here on the top, very lightly. We're not trying to cover over all of that stuff. We don't need the entire thing to be bright green. We need there to be some spaces of dark and different things in there. And that gives you depth, right? When you've got that darkness in your tree and that highlight on your branches, it just gives you some depth. Hello. We had some customers come in when you left. Literally, every time you leave and I go live, customers come in.
Oh. You have to start doing it at 8 in the morning.
That's what I said. Look at the tree.
Hello, everybody.
London's here, all.
I love it.
All of y'all. This one's looking really cool. There we go.
It's dark.
A little sharper.
I would like to live there
Longer.
too.
I know, right? Send me here. Says everybody. That's way cool. Way cool, guys. Let's get this one down a bit more. Right, and then come back in and change up the angle of this guy. Push him out a bit more. Yeah. We'll have a little bit of fun back in there. There we go. Now they're kind of crisscrossing. Could even launch that guy out as a little old doer. Just a little old doofus in the night, right? But main thing, fill it in up there, right? Around where all those are coming out, you want it to be nice and full. Very cool. Okay, you guys start coming up with a title for this painting. Because it needs a title, no matter if we find it a new home or not, we need to have a title for it, okay? Let's grab a little touch of our liquid white. That's not enough. A little touch of our liquid white. And run it through our lighter brown color, so the dark sienna brown. There we go. Let's come up here. We know we have to have a bit of dark showing somewhere, right? So let's go along the bottom edge with our fan brush, pushing it in full bore, just to drop off that color. So now it's got a little highlight on the bottom of his little trunk back here. And then with our palette tool, the very point of it, you got to make little rounded horizontal drag marks that are cutting through the trunk of our little palm tree. And then you have those ridges that you get in your little palm trees out there. You don't have to do your ridges. You don't have to do a highlight back here either. Right? It's too far away, and the tree itself is the highlight part, not the trunk. But very, very cool, you guys. I like that. I don't know about you. I like it. If anything, I think we could use a bit more wild there. A bit more spray bits. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, you guys come up with a title for this one. If you get it during the show, then you get to name it forever, right? It becomes yours to title forever. Very cool. Just painted my happy place. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Peace and relaxation. Man, that's really cool, guys. Really cool. Palming the beach. High five, as they say over there. Over there in the night. I'll pop just a little bit more of my darkness. There it was. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, you guys start coming up with a title, and I'm gonna wash off some of these brushes. I also wanted to show you this in case you didn't know what it was. It's called a maul stick. Okay, well this is called a yardstick, right? But we use it as a maul stick, meaning that we can float over our canvas without resting our hand on the actual wet part of our canvas, right? And get out here and have a nice sturdy place that's not contacting my canvas anywhere because I'm holding it far enough away out at the bottom to leave a little bit of space, right? What I normally do is use my one finger and I push against the bottom of the canvas. This is against the top of the canvas, and that way it cannot lean and touch. Then you can come out here and make sharp little details that you might not have been able to do if you were just floating your hand over the canvas trying not to push too hard. You know what I mean? That's what the maul stick sort of takes care of. Gives you a little steady hand. Now we'll come down here and let's launch in. I love painting the ocean, you guys. I did 2 classes today where we painted green forest scenes. They're gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but after all day in the forest, I want to go to the beach. At least on our canvas, right? So what do we got for titles, guys? Has anybody purchased this one? That's my question. And it's still available, looks like. Hawaii Beach Dream. It's very cool, I like that. Like that. We could even make these guys a bit closer up over here instead. We filled up that area, changing the line of our water. And just getting back in there, hitting it till it blends. Boom, till you like it. Literally it. That's cool. That's cool. Okay guys, you let me know what our title is gonna be. I'm gonna clean off the brushes. Perfection. You let me know what we're gonna title this guy. Okay. All right, guys, what are we looking at? And I had told myself before this show, if this one found a new home while we were doing the show, that I would come back and do another show, even though I've already painted 3 paintings today. And this is the 3rd one we've been painting today. I said I would come back and do another one. But that's fine. Looks like this one is gonna be mine, and that's okay. That's okay, guys. So, goodness, what a beaut. I love this big one right here. I love its overhanging branch on its other side. We got all this cool stuff happening. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Wicked, wicked, wicked. It almost looks like this one should actually cross in front of our little tree. Like so. Don't you think? That's what it just looks like to me. Just to me. And then come up here, my little bits. Highlight the edge. Just a little. Oh, I like it. Okay. All right, let's clean off that brush again. It's all in how it looks to us, right? When we do our scene, it's all how it looks to us. There we go. Over here, scrub this guy down. Nasty. All right, maybe we only do one show today. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's pick. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you. I would like to be there too. First time here. How much is this? So this one's $239, and it's an 18 by 24 inch canvas, so a pretty big canvas. Comes with free shipping, tracking, all that stuff. Plus, if you get it during the show, you get a free spin on the spinny winny wheel, quote unquote, which gives you back, it's a gifting wheel, which you win back a merch item like a hat or a poster or a shirt or puzzle or something like that, right? And then it'll show up after it's finished drying, maybe 7 to 10 days, we'll get it sent out to you, and then it'll show up and arrive and be gorgeous right in front of your very eyes. Hey, man, that's amazing. Goodness, the texture on this palm tree is thick. Fabulous. Okay, you guys, plus if you get it during the live show, which you're running out of time, you get to choose the title. If you were to grab it before we title it, that's one of the perks, is that you get to pick the title of what we name it forever. But you got to be the one that grabs it. If you don't grab it, then you might only be chosen out of luck. You need to get there. Little bits. Just get it up there enough so we can kind of grab it and drag it over, smallest little bit. Right? And you got to go back. Sometimes if it's a bit too bright, dull it down. We do have to have a shiny, a sunny side, right? But it doesn't all have to be the same amount of brightness. Okay, guys. This one came out amazing. You guys are amazing. The painting was amazing. The colors are amazing. The little soft little cloud. You were wondering why. You were like, why didn't Josh do like more clouds? He always does a ton of clouds. Why didn't he do a lot of clouds? Because this was going to take up our whole sky, right? So we didn't need to do a lot of clouds in order to have a cool scene like that. You just want something kind of off in the background, and real pretty out there. It's really cool, really soft. Really soft. Mojito sunrise. I like that. I like that. Looking really cool. Okay, reminds me of the keys. I like that. It's lovely aquamarine dream, they say. You guys are funny. Tropical palm salty breeze. That's a cool one. Palms. There's Katie Lexish. We took a class earlier today. Waves of the palms. Stay gold, palmy boy. You guys are funny. You guys are legit funny. Seriously. Very cool. Jurassic Dusk. I think that said. Jurassic Dust. Another Day in Paradise. That's a cool title. That's way cool. Palm Tree Bliss. Nice one, Paul Mitchell. My Happy Place, says Liz. I agree. Sunrise and Sea Mist. Dig that. That's freaking cool. Coco Mo. Palms at Dawn. Palm Before the Storm instead of Calm Before the Storm. I like it. Jamaican Day. That's cool. Thank you for the paper crane. Appreciate ya. Surf's Up. Dig that. Dig that. UK Dreams. Birds Flying High. Cosmic is saying the painting is still available. You guys are breaking my heart. That's all right, though. Tropic Funnel Cloud. Oh, that's it. That's got to be it, right? It's one of the worst. It sounds like the best drink ever when you go to like a tropical place. You're like, oh, cool, give me a Bahama Mama, right? But in fact, they're not really that good. I would prefer like a strawberry daiquiri or something different to that, you know what I mean? But let's go with Bahama Mama because it just reminds me of being in Hawaii. Always reminds me of being in Hawaii when I hear the Bahama Mama. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. You guys are cool. All right, what we're going to do here is finish the top of our canvas, which was that dark brown color. When's the last time you've seen a person put brown in the sky and have it come out so fantastically? The answer is never. Only Paint with Josh. The crazy person out here. Remember, we do teach virtual classes, just like I taught to Katie today. We painted a really cool scene. I can show you guys those really cool scenes if you're interested and maybe looking at purchasing one of them. I know Katie had hers listed in her Etsy store as well, so that's cool. I posted that link over to Facebook, so you can go check out what we did. And her painting, my painting, it's all awesome out here. That's the best J I think we've ever J'd in my whole J of J's. 1805er. Calling it Bahama Mama. Perfect. Okay. Painted on 4/18/2024. We're all going to go to paintwithjosh.com. Because besides TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, like paintwithjosh.com is in my top 5. I don't know about you guys. It's in my top 5. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. That is a pretty old sunset. If I do say so myself. That's a pretty one. Go back over. A couple little bits. Bang. Right? Just epic. I went from disliking palm trees so much to now I prefer to paint them over pine trees any day. Any day I would paint a palm tree over a pine tree. Literally any day. All right, you guys over on YouTube and Facebook, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting and liking and commenting. I love you all. I can't wait to come back, and we'll do it again tomorrow, at least on YouTube anyway, and over here on TikTok at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the best of a good day, and boosh. Man, that was cool. It's all